Welcome back, everyone. It's the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig. We got Jeff over there. We're talking steals. What are we talking? Sleepers. They could be steals too. We're talking sleepers here for auction drafts this year, but we're going at wide receiver and guys that are going for around $1. So these are dollar guys, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but not really, under $2. These are guys that end of bench guys. You're filling out your roster with them. These are the ones in these auction drafts that when the auction turns into almost a snake draft at the end, you know how that goes, where no one has money left, and these are the guys. So this is where I like to actually keep a little bit of, not a lot of money. I don't, like we've talked about before, you don't want to have money laying around, but I like having maybe a couple more dollars in my opponents at the end for guys like this that I want to just, if they nominate for $1, I want to be able to swoop in for $2 and take them. Because there's some good sleepers here. So Jeff, who's your guy? Who's your first guy here at wide receiver?
The first guy, I'm actually very excited about this one. I can't wait to see how it turns out. He did not get a fair shake. This will be his third year in the league, and I thought he was going to be a very productive wide receiver, but he ended up going to the Jets, and he got absolutely screwed. Elijah Moore finally gets to go somewhere and renew and try to figure out what went wrong. He's going to Cleveland. Deshaun Watson's trying to, get that offense going in the right direction. You have Amari Cooper that's going to be the number one. He's actually going to be in the slot. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I believe, is going to be the second wide receiver. It is the perfect situation for him to soak up a ton of targets and show how good he can be at wide receiver. I think he can really win in the middle of the field, and I think that he is primed to do really good things in Cleveland. Obviously, it's a little risky, but at the same time, I think talent will shine through. And coming out of the draft a few years ago, he was one of the guys I liked the most. I was like, wow, they got a real ball player there. He's only going for less than $1. He's going for $0.6. I just love the upside on this guy. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. I'm really hoping that he shows out. I think he can.
Yeah, he's completely forgotten about. This is perfect for sleepers. It's like he doesn't exist anymore, right? No. And why? I mean, it's odd. They wanted to make room for other guys. They want to throw Allen Lazard there and the Jets. I mean, Moore's better. He can be better. The guy played really, really well in his rookie year.
He did. And I was going to say, let me show you what he was able to do. Because remember, this was when, was he drafted with Zach Wilson or the year after?
I believe the same. They were back the
same year.
Yeah.
He was only 21 years old. He played in 11 games. He had 77 targets, 43 catches for 538 yards and 5 touchdowns. That was his rookie year on a short season with a quarterback that didn't have it together, right? And then the next year, he did play a full season. Only 65 targets with 37 receptions, 446 yards, and 1 touchdown. They're already going away from him. Obviously, Garrett Wilson looks like the real deal, but they went out and got Corey Davis. They did things that did not help him out. So I'm banking on that rookie year. I think he can build on that going to Cleveland.
Yep, I like it. I like that pick. All right, my first guy. I went in a little bit. I went to $2, so but it's fine. I went with Jahan Dotson, second year guy.
Love it.
First round pick last year, and he just gets forgotten about. It's so quick. We forget about these guys so quickly when they don't just have a massive breakout, right? But Dotson, he had 7 touchdown catches last year. He had 4 touchdown catches in his first 4 games last year, and then he got hurt. So 4 touchdown catches right away, and then he gets hurt. And that just derails the season. Again, quarterback situation that was kind of just all up in the air last year too. And he came back. He was slow to come back after the injury, right? Then he had a couple weeks that he really started to look good again. So he came back and he had 3 nothing weeks after the injury. Then he had a 5 for 54 and a touchdown, 4 for 105 and a touchdown, 6 for 76 and a touchdown, 3 for 37 and 3 for 72 to end the year. This year they're going, looks like, with Sam Howell is to start the year, and that's who they're going with. And there's no wondering who is going to be Wentz, is it going to be Heineke, whoever's there, right? No, it's Sam Howell, and they're going to play with him. And Jahan Dotson in year 2, I really think can have a good season. He's not the number 1, he's the number 2 behind McLaurin, but he really can have. He was the 16th pick in the draft.
Yeah,
he has the talent, and he's going for $2.1.
Yeah, he flashed last year,
Yep.
and in a team that wasn't really throwing all that much, and he got hurt too, like you said. So yeah, I love that. I love that one. I think he really has a bright future.
All right, Jeff, who's your other guy?
My other guy I'm going to talk about, once again, just forgotten about. Man, you get hurt and you're young, and all of a sudden people act like you're no big deal. Rashad Bateman, literally going for no money right now. Like he is he's ending up on some teams, but he is going for nothing. Yes, they signed Odell Beckham. Great. Yep. Okay. Rashad Bateman is going to be the number 2 wide receiver now. Obviously, you're on a Ravens team that, a little precarious. You never know if they're going to just run the ball down someone's throat, if they're actually going to be passing, whatever is going to happen. But Rashad Bateman is good when he's playing.
Yep.
In his rookie year, he had 46 receptions, a little over 500 yards and a touchdown. Year 2, he only had 15 receptions, 285, and 2 touchdowns. And he only played in 6 games. So that is why everyone's kind of like downgrading him. But the first 3 games he played, he was great. And then he played one more and got hurt in it. And then he only played 2 more games, really. So
he's free. He's basically free.
Yeah, he's free. And I'm telling you, he does have the talent. And if he stays healthy, especially with like Odell there to take off a little pressure, who is also injury prone at this point in his career. So Bateman, who knows who's number 1, who's number 2, how they want to do you want to try to save Odell a little more, to the end of the year when you're really going to need him? I don't know, but Rashad Bateman, he is a very good wide receiver that hasn't had a chance to shine, and you're literally getting him for nothing. And last year he was going, it was everyone's darling, and you get one injury and then all of a sudden you're forgotten about.
Yeah, again, these are guys throwing the end of your bench at the very end of the draft for $1, maybe 2 tops if you need to outbid somebody else. But yeah, I love it. And I'm going to keep the trend going with young guys. And that's why these guys are so cheap. It's young guys who maybe didn't quite live up to it or had injuries or something. And I'll go with another second-year guy. And I don't even have a lot of stats to back this one. I'm just like, for $1, I'm going to take that chance and see if it breaks out. And it's Treylon Burks. He's going for 1.9. Year 2 receiver. Again, another first-round pick. He went 2 picks after Jahan Dotson. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have much last year. But again, he got hurt. He played the first 4 games and then gets hurt. He came back and he showed some signs, some flashes. He had a 7 for 111 game. There's something there. And, the team it just wasn't that great of a year for them. But I really want to take it for $1, $2 at the end of your draft. Take that second-year receiver who was first-round talent and see what happens. And that's where I'm going to try I like to get guys like that at the end of my bench, especially a wide receiver position. They can break out anytime.
Yeah,
you don't know. So Treylon Burks, Jahan Dotson, it's all these young receivers.
Yeah, there's more to go around, but those are the guys that stick out to me that I don't think they get a fair shot yet.
No, they really don't. They just don't get talked about. And then Tannehill only played 12 games last year. Tannehill is not the greatest quarterback in the world, but they also had 3 games started by Malik Willis and 2 games started by Joshua Dobbs last year. Let's see if we get a full year Tannehill. You're going to see a much better Treylon Burks because they got to throw the ball to him, right?
Right.
What's their depth chart these days? I mean, to be honest, I can't even think of all the other guys on their team. I just got to pull this up real quick. Here we go. How is Treylon Burks not going to do something? Their literal depth chart, wide receivers, Treylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akina, and Kyle Phillips.
Yeah. The only question would be if they add someone like Hopkins or something.
If Hopkins is the,
but I don't know. If
it seems like it's leaning towards Patriots right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Even if for a buck though, I don't know if Hopkins coming hurts or helps him. To be quite honest,
you got a first round talent at wide receiver who they literally trade away AJ Brown to draft. So.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't look that smart anymore. But I will say one more guy I want to stick in here. Yeah. And because it comes with a caveat, if you do have an injury reserve. Jameson Williams.
Yes, for sure. If they allow you to put suspended players on.
He has $0.1 and no one's going to be looking at him because you are going to miss the first 6 games because of a suspension. But he is speed on speed on speed. They haven't added anyone else. Like I thought they would. They have Amon-Ra. Other than that, solid wide receivers, but no one like him. They traded up to get him. Yep. He already showed flashes. He only played like a couple of games in the first year because he was hurt. They brought him along slowly. he will eventually break out.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind. It's just if you have an injury reserve spot, that is a great pick for later on, or trade bait.
That'll be some guy that we'll keep talking about in the early season about guys. Pick this guy up like week 3. Like, hey, we'll get this guy. So if you can get him early and you have the ability to throw him on the bench. So there we go. There's some wide receiver sleepers, some $1, $2 guys for you in auctions for 2023. That'll be it for today. Talk to you guys next time.